we're back up here at Tibble Reservoir, that's second week in a row, and we brought Derek. We're gonna fly the drone up here. It has only been 2 weeks since a suspect Bigfoot was filmed in the area, and you know, on its own it may not hold up, but because this is a Bigfoot sighting hotspot, and this is the third video since 2012. There was another one in 2014, and now this one in 2015. You know, it motivated us to come in and start researching this area. We'll probably spend a lot of time in this location. All three of these films are within a 5 square mile. You got the Squaw Peak, you got the Alpine Loop, and now you got the Tibble Reservoir. And Derek's setting up our quadcopter. We're going to launch it and look up on top of these mountains and see what the aerial view looks like that we can't get into on the ground, or we want to see what's going on up here before we do come in on the ground.
This and just literally tell me where you want it to go.
We couldn't get 6 satellites. We only got 5, so Derek's gonna have to fly it manually.
Yeah, the one that's red, it needs to go blue.
But we're gonna put the Phantom up in the air.
Go up right here and let it hang, and hopefully we'll get a GPS signal from it. It ain't gonna matter though. Oh, there's a record button on that. Go ahead and hit it.
Derek's going to take the helicopter up to about 150 foot altitude from the ground and take a look around the mountains. The mountain on the right is the mountain we believe that the suspect Bigfoot walked down to into the willow areas where the creeks and stuff separate just before flowing into the reservoir. So this mountain is particular interest to us. I know the chances of catching a Bigfoot are very slim. That's not our goal. What we're looking for is things of interest. A grove of snap-offs, a structure, a mountaintop spring. There's also a valley on the other side of this mountain that's of interest to us, and we would like to use this as recon to see the best way to hike into there. Derek's going to look around both mountainsides right around 150 feet altitude, and then he's going to take the drone up after about 5 minutes of scanning the area. He's going to take it up to a little over 200 feet altitude, and he's going to scan again. The direction that the helicopter's facing now, actually that direction and off to the right a little bit, about 5 miles, is where the Alpine Loop Bigfoot was filmed not long ago. It was June of 2014. And then completely to the right, and I will point it out when he has the camera face that direction, but another 5 miles to the south is where the Squaw Peak Provo Canyon Bigfoot was filmed. So even though this Bigfoot that was filmed a couple of weeks ago, or suspect Bigfoot I should say, right here by Tibble Fork Reservoir, you know, it may well have been a hoax, but this is a Bigfoot sighting hotspot. We don't know if it's true or a hoax. Nobody will ever know except for the guy that took the footage. But because it is a Bigfoot sighting hotspot, and there's 3 films coming out of here since 2012 of suspect Bigfoot, it has motivated us to come in and research this area thoroughly. And this is just one more step. This is our second time out here in 2 weeks, and we will be frequenting this area in 2015 quite a bit to see if we can find any type of Bigfoot evidence. And of course, everybody that's out Bigfooting wants to get that video that's just as good or better than the Patty video. That's definitely one of our team's goals. This is the direction the guy's camera was faced, we believe, down about 100 or 200 yards behind us. We believe he was faced this direction when the suspect creature come down off the mountain into the river flats. I'd also like to point out we found a cave. You can see a rock face up ahead a few hundred yards. And at the base of that, there's a pretty good sized cave that I took several photos of in last week's video. I really want to see what's over this mountain, this little mountain that we're filming that the Bigfoot come off of. I mean, why was it coming this direction if it indeed was a Bigfoot? And I believe we have found a little pass that'll make it easier for us to hike into. As soon as the camera rotates to the right a little bit, you'll get to see the pass. And one of my goals is to hike back in there. Yeah, there's a little valley between these 2 mountains, and I'd like to hike back in there and see what's back in that bowl. Okay, down below, this is the area right below us that I believe the guy was standing somewhere between the reservoir and what you can see now in the river flats. He was standing down there somewhere and filming. That's what we come up with last week when we did our investigation. The gentleman that shot the video and the paranormal expert that did the breakdown, they agreed to send us or email us a map and pinpointing the exact location he took the footage. Well, here it is about 10 days later, and they still have not emailed us a map they agreed to. I mean, we didn't ask for this. They offered it up, and they still haven't sent it to us. Hopefully we get that soon. It would be nice to be able to stand in the exact spot that he was filming so we can do some size comparisons and so forth. But I don't think we necessarily need it. We really believe that we have found the location, or within 100 yards of the location, good enough for us to do our investigation to really scour this area over the next 6 months. And Derek is trying to just pan slowly and give us some good, solid, stable views of things. I mean, he's up in the air, and so the longer he stays stable and pointed in a certain direction, it'll make it easier to find suspect structures. And then in the snow, I mean, there's a chance that we may be able to find a bipedal trackway, so I think he does a real good job at keeping the camera stable and giving us some clear footage from the air. And the places he's filming would take us in an entire day to hike around to, and some of these places, because of the cliffs and the steepness and the ice and snow, we may not be able to hike into them in a day, and this footage can really help us find the better paths up on top of these mountains if we think it's necessary to hike up to them. But yeah, this is the particular mountain that he's got the drone over that the creature come down off of. The Indians or the Native Americans called Bigfoot, several tribes called Bigfoot ridge walkers. So I think that's one great thing with this drone is we can get right up on the ridges and get a much closer look than we can from down in the valley. And as I said before, I mean, it take hours, even a full day to get up on some of these ridges to have a look around, and this drone can save us a lot of tread on our shoes and a lot of unnecessary work looking for evidence that just isn't there. I mean, if we see a structure on top of one of these or a mountain top spring, a water source on top of these is a big deal to us. That would motivate us to hike up there and take a look around. But yeah, you can clearly see that there's a bowl back there between all these mountain peaks, or a valley, and it's a remote area. There isn't a paved, not a paved trail, but there isn't a blazed trail that goes back there. There isn't a trailhead or anything, so we would be hiking in the raw forest. So it's really nice to see the best way to get back in there. I really want to check it out back in there. If it was a Bigfoot, that's the direction it was coming from. Every once in a while, you'll see the blades of the helicopter come into the screen, and that's because it's fighting the wind. There were some pretty good gusts of wind this day, and the higher Derek got, the worse the gusts of wind were. And now I believe he's going to take this in for a landing. Hey, and thanks for watching. We're going to keep on squatching. Alright. Derek's bringing it in for a landing.
Stop the recording, Jen. Just push the button again.